Hello, my name's James O'Brien. I'm the Operations Director of iIntro, and today I want to share with you our thoughts on the implementation of behavioural assessment or psychometric profiling into the recruitment process. You see, there are a lot of misnomers about the use of behavioural assessments in the recruitment process, and it's got an unfair rap in reality. And the reason is a lot of time recruiters believe that it's actually going to stop their placement going ahead, because quite often we've seen it fall down at the 11th hour, because somebody's been assessed and evaluated. And quite often that's because it's been seen as a pass-fail scenario. Now the reality is you need to understand what's the relevance of behavioural assessment in the recruitment process and why is it being used. Now, from an organisation's point of view, the employer's point of view, you've got to ask why they're doing it. Well, the reason why they're doing it is to improve their overall retention of new employees. Because the real measure for a recruiter is not whether you can place somebody into an organisation, but whether you can place a candidate who stays for the medium to long term. And when used correctly, behavioural assessment, psychometric profiling, they're interchangeable terms, can actually make a huge difference to an organisation. But if you use it right at the end of the process, then really you've almost made the decision, and very rarely is it really going to change the mindset because emotion has started to come into the process. So a better way to consider that is, rather than comparing candidates to a generic benchmark of somebody who's done this job in the past is likely to do that job in the future, that's really no better than assessing whether somebody's worked for 5 years at company X and they're going to work out very well at company Y. The reality is to introduce it earlier into your process. And the benefit of bringing it into your process earlier is that you can actually save the employer time. You can make sure they don't waste time hiring employees or interviewing employees or potential employees just because they've got a great CV, only to find that they then don't work out in the long term. The way that you can implement behavioural assessment into your process is to work with the client to identify what type of person are they looking for. Now, what does that mean? Because when you say that to employers, they're likely to say things back to you after they've told you how many years experience. They're likely to say to you things like, oh, I'm looking for a good team player, somebody who's going to integrate with the team. But what does that mean? It's too generic, it's too vague. What you really need to do is help the client articulate some of those innermost thoughts and feelings about what determines success in the organisation. Now, to do that, you need to inject some science into the process, because the reality is you can sit with your client for hours and you're never going to really pull that out. But what's available now in the marketplace are tools which are going to help you identify what that is. You can get your client to actually complete online assessments where they can actually say, this is what I'm looking for. Now, the benefit to them then is it helps them articulate those thoughts that they're really going to struggle to share with you in any other format. And what you've then got is essentially a template for somebody to be successful in that organisation. Not just the skills, knowledge and experience, which is the job description, but now you'll have a profile of somebody that determines success. And when you bring those two together, that's when you can start utilising something called multiple layers of scientific and objective assessment to help clients, to help employers make more informed hiring decisions. Your employers, your clients will actually appreciate what you do. They'll start to understand why you use it earlier in the process rather than waiting till the end, because by that time it can prove to be a little bit too late. So this is not about saying whether somebody's right or wrong, whether somebody's passed or failed. It's about ensuring that you make sure your client spends their maximum amount of time interviewing candidates that they want to meet, who not only can do the job based on their previous track record, but people who will do the job in the way that the client wants that job to be done. That determines success in the recruitment process. And by implementing behavioural assessment or psychometric profiling early in the process means that you can offer something different. Now, I hope you've enjoyed watching this video. It's just to give you a snapshot of where you can make some differences utilising behavioural assessment in your process. Here at iIntro, we actually spend a lot of time working with recruiters to implement those type of ideas into their own recruitment process so they can go out there and win more business with their clients, and clients who keep coming back for more. Please do watch out for other videos in this series, but you can also click on the link below where you can book some time with myself or one of my colleagues, and we'll actually share with you our further thoughts on this particular subject and topic. So thanks very much for watching, and as I said, please do watch out for videos every Tuesday.